This is log entries, right, for through Power Teacher. And to start, we want to make sure we are in Power Teacher. That's wintondrivedistrict.org/teachers with an S. And we also know because there's a teacher sign in here, that's how we know we're in Power Teacher. The username, right, and your password, type those in. Once you're in, this is the original screen. Here, there is a lot going on that we can actually use. I think if you're familiar with this, normally we just come here, we click attendance, we take attendance, and we log out, and then we come back in to use the gradebook. But an often overlooked, I want to start this video with some tools and tricks, is this backpack. The backpack has a lot of tools at our fingertips before we don't even have to get into the gradebook. So if we click on that backpack, depending on, you can click on either one, it doesn't matter. But whichever one you do click on, for example, that was the 5th period, that one is going to be the one that lists all my class members in that class. And then notice, though, that there are my other options here. So if I wanted to, I clicked on that 6th period class, and now those students are the ones that are highlighted here, or options here. And I would just click back and forth to my classes here. But let's pick one of these. I'm going to go back to this one. As an example, my first student, Academia, is her name. The default is the quick lookup, right, which shows you their class schedule and the grades they're currently getting. And then there's this drop-down screen over here that gives you some options. This one's called log entries, and the other one is called submit log entry. I'm going to show you what they look like. If I click log entries, it takes me here, and you can see a list of log entries that I've already made for her. And there's an option called new where I can make a new one. The submit log entries, it just takes me to the log entry form itself. I don't get to see the other logs that were made. And I personally like to see all the log entries just to see what's going on with her. And it's not just me or my class, etc. But the coolest part about this, and this is what I love, if we go back a step, back to that main menu, there's an option over here called personalize, and it's called default student screen. If I click on that, I can actually pick any one of these to be the first, not that quick lookup, but if I did a lot of log entries, for example, I would absolutely want to select log entries here, and I click submit, and when I go click on that backpack, I click on Academia, and now the log entries is the first thing that I see, and I can just start logging right away. That's a feature that I love about this, the backpack. Let's take a look at this form for a second. This is kind of where the tutorial is and how to make these log entries, but this form looks the same no matter wherever we're coming from to get here. It all has the same look and works the same. The log type defaults at discipline, and you want to select CHS teacher/staff. That's important. To get into it, long story short, it has a lot to do with security. But subtype and who sees and doesn't see the logs that you're making. The subtype is less important, but it does help in understanding where to fit this in if you want to do searches, etc. But let's say you're the teacher. The title also becomes a big piece because it's a way to visualize in that log entry list what's going on. But let's say I talked maybe phone call to parents. This is where you type your message here, and then you hit, this is less of importance, and then you hit submit, and then you've made your log entry. Now it's been added here. This is where that subject matter comes in. You can just quickly see, oh, okay, phone call to parents, and okay, etc. And then you see that your message will come up right here. This is how you make the log entry. So it's important, those couple steps. Change it to CHS teacher, and then putting in a title. Those will all help in the long run to kind of track a student's progress. Let's take a look at how to do a log entry quickly while in your gradebook, and that's in Power Teacher Pro is the name of the gradebook. So to get there, as a reminder, you click on any one of these links to take you to Power Teacher Pro, and you can see we're doing the backpack kind of is a couple less clicks and a lot less loading time as well. Anyhow, to do this, we want to go to students, and the option is called Power Teacher Portal. That's going to take you, so example, academia is highlighted. We're going to go to Power Teacher Portal, and that's going to bring you to your screen here. The default is the schedule, and there's no way to change that. But here is the drop down again, and then there's our log entries is an option. And then you can see it looks identical to the backpack. Here's a list of her logs. These are the ones I just made. I click New. I automatically want to change this to CHS Teacher, give it a subtype, give it a title, and then I can add it from there. If I go back to that though, to the students page, then let's say I didn't want you can only see these options for students if the student is highlighted here. So let's say I want to log in for Marie, right? Well, when I click on her name, it automatically kind of comes to this screen, which is not the logs that I want. However, if I click on this drop down option up here, now what I get is that Power Teacher Portal option. I click on Power Teacher Portal, and this is where I'm starting. Okay, now I'm familiar with this screen. I want to click Log Entries. I click New, and this is where I change it again. CHS Teacher, that's one of the first things you want to do, and then I submit my log entry when I'm done. So this is how you do log entries in Power Teacher and in Power Teacher Pro.